All right, hello and welcome back to Gotta Get ERC. It's been a bit since I actually did a video, but I have got a few things to do, a few review videos, and I gotta make a few, try and go out and make a few videos. But I finally got a car I've been waiting on for a while. This car I ordered all the way back at the end of July, and it got here the other day, and I finally got to run it, and so we're gonna review it. So. This is the TZBOSHING 1/16 brushless RC cars for adults, four-wheel drive, off-road, fast for RC trucks, max 22 miles per hour, Hobbit grade electric racing buggy with headlight, all-terrains, electric monster trucks for boys. Now, you see the rating. I'll get to that in a minute because I kind of agree with that. But let's take a look at this, at least on here. So it's supposed to be 70 kilometers an hour. I can't speed test it, but it comes with two batteries, 35 amp 2S brushless ESC, 17 gram 3-wire servo, 2840 brushless motor, metal differential, metal middle drive shaft, and metal dog bone, which is the metal front half shafts. And this is the color I got, was this blue one. This one looks like it's red, and I don't have that one. You know, the new upgrade, the high-speed vehicle, blah, 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 strong power, blah, 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 70 kilometers an hour speed. And that gives you a, kind of decent overview of what it looks like on the inside. Now, $142.99. It was $142.99 when I put in the request for the review thing. So, now, close that because that's not needed. For $142, this is what you get. This is the car. You get there's the shocks, and you get the little, what are they called? Pre-tensioners or whatever, the things to make it, have some preload. The shock preloader. There you go, yeah. And if I go ahead and turn it on, sorry for the flashing. You're supposed to turn the controller on first. I forgot. Your controller is a standard controller. You guys have seen it before. Potato has the same controller. One of the drift cars I have has the same controller. 3-speed on here, controlled by the ESC. It does actually seem to matter. Steering trim, steering dual rate. Steering dual rate determines how much you steer. If I turn it down, you can see nothing happens when I steer. If I go ahead and turn that right back up, decent steering angle. Steering trim, just, center lines your car. Channel 3 makes your top lights flash faster or turns them off. It does nothing for your headlights. So you could have either just headlights or flashing. And there is some orange. Oh, there are orange lights in the grill when the lights are on that turn off with the other lights. That's pretty cool. And as far as wheel speed goes, this is on high. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but pretty quick. Now let's go ahead and turn it off. And I will tell you guys what I think of it. And I will also tell you guys a few other minor details that are going to probably piss some people off, but I can fix. I can do the reversion shit like quickly. So if I piss people off, I honestly don't care. Because, like I said, I can go back. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. This microphone does nothing. I know I almost want to cut it off. Anyways, it's not bad. It's actually really good. This is a really, really good base. This particular frame, chassis and everything set up except the front and rear bumpers, is the exact same as Babe Tattle. You guys remember I had the on my other channel, there was a RC car that I had, and she was dubbed Babe Tattle. In fact, here is her body, so you all can see why she was dubbed Babe Tattle. It's because of a typo on the side of her thing. When she was made, they typoed, and this is the exact same chassis, links. I think even the same shocks. Probably the same everything. The differential case here is the exact same. The way it covers it, it's all the same. I mean, there's very minor differences. Like back here, there's a screw And I think that would be where the I could pull the fin off of that. I'll take this screw out and put the fin on this car and run the screws through the shocks. So I could put her fin on this car if I wanted to. Which brings me to my point. These body mounts that are on here, I swapped them to Batato's body mounts because some of you may know I was trying to upgrade Batato to brushless, and this is literally a brushless Batato. A very aggressive bumper. She doesn't have any lights because the lights are in the other body. But I swapped the body mounts over, and now Batato rocks a brushless setup. These tires are interchangeable with every other tire that I have of this size, it looks like. I haven't actually tried, but I could do that right now while I'm on here, as soon as I find this. So here's a wheel nut, or yeah, wheel hex thing, and just go ahead and pop one of these tires off. And let's see how well that works. Sorry, I know you guys can't see, but so here we go. Let's see if it works. This is a tire off of a truck that Batato fit. Like, these are the exact same size tires as what was on Batato's thing. And yeah, there you go. Spinning one wheel, this wheel's spinning. Works perfectly fine. I don't know how well you guys can tell, but stationary, spun. Very loose diffs. So any basher I have with these size hex, I don't know exactly the size. I'm gonna guess probably like 14 millimeter or something will fit. So you could take this from, you know, more of a on-road tire to a more off-road tire. Or you could take it to sand tires, sand paddles if you want. Which is a possibility. So that is something I did for me. I wanted Batato to be brushless, and now she is. I have a brushless setup in her chassis, and was able to swap these the bottom mounts over without changing anything, without hacking or cutting. Just pull them out of that, put them in here. Next, the only issue I have. I read in the description somebody was complaining about the steering. I had no issue with the steering. Steering works great for me. Only issue I have, the shocks were way too soft, especially in the back. And I don't know how well you guys can tell, but that is a very soft shock. And I put the preload springs on, or the preload clips. I don't know if I put them in the right spot, but I did. I put them in. I put them on all four, and in the rear, I put a extra small spring around the shaft in there. And it's definitely tougher than the front, but this car has a lot of torque, and it makes the rear end sag every single time it goes. And you can see the front red piece. That's a little metal support bracket, that front red piece, and the back one. The back one is scratched up, mostly from it dipping the rear end on launch and scraping the bottom. Now that does one of two things. Number one, it makes the launch sloppy. If you try and full throttle from the get-go. Stop whimpering, there's no reason for it. Nobody's eating your food. If you want a toy, get your toy. You're like 6 inches from it, bro. Sorry, my dog's being a jerk. Not a jerk, he's just being a puppy. It's okay. I understand. Yeah, the shocks are super soft. And another thing it does is when it goes over bumps, it will always bottom out if it's going any kind of fast. And the moment it bottoms out and hits that bump, it sends the car careening over and flips. And I scratched Batato's body pretty good, even though you can't really tell. Her body's actually pretty tough. So, stiffened up the rear shocks. I'm planning on doing the same to the front with the springs. I'm going to see how that runs. And after that, I'm going to put oil-filled shocks. I have, on Batato's frame, which is actually right here, there is a brushless setup in it, but I'm having a lot of issues. These are oil-filled shocks on her. They came off a different brushless setup that the motor's from. And I'm almost certainly going to take I actually like this ESC better. It's got a better servo. It's got well, not a better servo. It's actually got the same servo connection. But this is an E45R and this is a 35A. So this is a 45 amp, I guess. No, this is a 35 amp. They're both 35 amp ESCs. But I don't know what this one is like rated for. It doesn't matter. Anyways, stop getting distracted, Breen. As you can see, almost identical wheelbase. Yeah, identical wheelbase, and I don't know how well you could tell, but the shocks are the same. Potato steering arms, these linkages I did change because, you know, and Potato was not originally metal axles, or yeah, half shafts. That came off the other car. So I'm probably going to take these oil-filled shocks. I'm pretty much guaranteed going to take these oil-filled shocks off and put them on here. And I could also put Potato's front bumper, or this is the front bumper from the other truck. No, this is Potato. I could put Potato's front bumper on here. All I have to do is take out 2 screws, 4 screws, and voila. She will have lights again. Yeah, as you can see, basically the exact, I mean, it is the exact same as Potato. Everything's the same. And, I mean, it's nice, but the suspension is extremely soft on this one. And for $140 with no foam in the tires and an extremely soft friction suspension, like, it takes nothing to make this move. Like, I'm barely pushing it. Okay, I'm gonna have to push here because I can't. I'm barely pushing it. That's like, it's super easy. It's hard to tell, but I'll eventually do a full stock run video of it with Potato's body and show you guys just how bad it is. And then I'm gonna do a side-by-side like video comparison of a launch with the oil-filled shocks and everything like. And I'm gonna try and, I was just out front and I was going over the you know, some of the bumps in the road, and every time I hit a bump at any kind of speed, just send it over onto its roof. I mean, it's very quick. The tires have good grip. They're nice and soft, but it's just, it's not, it's really good. It's really good, and there's potential, and it's the kind of frame that, like, all of these parts can come off of different vehicles and go on here because this is a fairly universal setup that everyone's been using. So, you know, it's good and everything. It's just $142. I'd like to see oil-filled shocks. For $142, oil-filled shocks, that alone would take this from good to really good. And then the foam in the tires, I don't care. The tires don't like sag under the car's weight, and they don't really displace with how fast these wheels spin. The only other issue I have is there's no room in this battery tray to like fit a 2S LiPo. You have to get a weirdly sized LiPo to fit in there, and there's no straps. It's a plastic bar. So it'd be a little hard to get anything other than the stock lithium-ion battery in there. And it is a 7.4 volt, but we all know LiPo's better, right? So, pretty good. Not great. Worth the $142? I'd say wait for it on sale if you're going to get this one. Again, that was like the weirdly named something or other. Doesn't say on the body. It's a cool body, though. Oh, no, yeah, the body came with decals, too, that I didn't put on. In fact, where did I put that? Here it is. So you get extra body clips, you get a screwdriver, you get a wheel wrench, and it's in Japanese, or so whatever. But yeah, it even shows right on the front, it shows Potato. That's basically what Potato looked like when she came. That's the exact same front bumper and tail fin and tires that are on Potato. It's hilarious to me. But here are the decals that you get. Oh, that's instruction manual on how to put on the decals. My bad, decals are smaller. Here you go. Gantry Pro decals. Pretty cool decals, actually. I am not going to be getting rid of the body. I am not going to be getting rid of the decals. I will probably be putting the decals on the body, and I will probably, more than likely, keep the body mounts are on Batato's body, and I will be bringing them around as well. But I mean, come on, Batato's back.
I'm recording. I can't see it very well. Try that again. Oh! Really?
What?
That was really...
You can see how much it's bouncing. That's the... It's not careening out of control this time. That's a good one too.
I didn't get that.
Yeah. You see that one? I'm not even like half throttle. Oh, I was hitting it the other day. But just how much she bounces. There you go.
Okay. I think I got that. Okay.
I heard it bottom out this time.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it?
Yeah. Alright, welcome back to the video. This section should be after the other stuff that I went and filmed. And I just want to show a couple things. Number one, full stock. I currently don't have the battery in properly. I will fix that. I'm not going to be running it, so I didn't really care, but that should be at least seated in its place. There, now it is. So a couple things I didn't mention, and flash warning for those of you with any photosensitivity issues. I'm going to say it now. Channel 3 on stock controls the light bar and the orange lights in the grill, and it does two flashing modes: slow, fast, and then it has off, and then it has on. So you could go just the headlights or off-road lights as well. That's kind of cool. Not really something I'm going to be worrying about because I'm probably going to not use this body. As you saw in the first part, probably going to use Batao. The rear end goes, the body goes over the bumper, which I find extremely weird. The back body posts are really close to the back window, so it's hard. It'd be hard to get the body posts on, or the body clips on, facing back out to where the opening is towards the back of the truck. And I'm not even going to bother filming the launch with the... I mean, I probably should film the launch with the oil-filled shocks, but hopefully you guys could see from the footage that I have the difference the oil-filled shocks made compared to the stock shocks and the stiffened shocks. Now, mind you, I was going a little bit easier on the throttle this time around. When I was first testing it on my own, I was kind of going hardcore, really giving it the juice, and I still didn't put any of the decals on. Very free differentials. It did flip over on the going on the stiffer shocks with it had the tensioners and the backs were stiffened up. It flipped over just trying to slow down because it dug so low that you might be able to see. Yeah, there you go. It scratched the metal bar because it dug so low that it scraped and flung itself over the top. Surprisingly, they didn't scratch the KC lights or anything. I don't know how, but it didn't. It did scratch the roll bar back here, but it doesn't matter. Last thing I'm gonna say is for the price point, $150. Oil shocks. Oil shocks, please. If you're gonna make a car and sell it for $150. For the love of God, put oil-filled shocks on, or at least shocks with the potential to be oil-filled. These shocks, I know you guys probably wouldn't be able to see, but you can't take the shock cap off to put oil in it. So, oil-filled shocks, and keep it how it is. The length, the width is fantastic. You could put wider tires on without having any issues. It'd be phenomenal. But oil-filled shocks. If you get this one, have a set of oil-filled shocks to throw on, or get a set and throw them on, and it'll be fantastic. Without oil-filled shocks, it's just not worth it. I mean, it's good, but it needs oil-filled shocks, and for the price, you could find something that does as good and has oil-filled shocks. So, while I won't give the car a 1 out of 10, I'll give it or out of 5 stars, because that's what the review goes on Amazon, right? I'll give it a 3. It's good, but for the price, I want oil-filled shocks. I need oil-filled shocks for $150 to make it worth it. Because if not, as you see, bottoming out repeatedly is just destroying your metal supports in there, company. I'm shredding them. And I'm pretty sure they're aluminum, but like I am shredding those supports. It's so bad on the back that I'm actually scraping the screw. The screw. I never touched that screw. That screw was not, did not have any shiny metal showing through. That one right there. But I don't know if you could tell. But yeah, there you go. You can see metal. It's gone from being black to being partially metal now. That's how bad the back end is scraping on the stock shocks. Oil-filled shocks are a must on something like this. With the amount of power this has and how low the ride height is, oil-filled shocks are an absolute must. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.